25 beauty essentials that I'm bringing with me into 2025. For today's video, I picked out 25 of some of my favorite products ranging from skincare, hair care, fragrance, of course to makeup. And I just know that these are products that are going to be essential to my beauty routine. Now, if you're a regular follower of mine, a lot of these are products you've already heard about that I talk about a lot, but there are some that I kind of just want to reiterate, bring back to the forefront, just so that you know I've been using these off camera, off screen, in my daily routine, and I will continue into 2025 using these. These are the essentials, pretty much. I mean, we have a lot of products to talk about, so let's get into it. Number one, a good hair dryer. I have so many different hair tools that I've tried over the years, but I've used Lyfen for the last couple of years, so like this has stood the test of time, which is why I'm really excited that they actually offered to sponsor this portion of today's video. I think the price point and the quality is the best for what you get. So this is their SE high-speed hair dryer. So high-speed hair dryers can be very expensive. They can range from $200 up to $400, and then they might not live up to the hype. So this is where Lyfen comes in as my solution. It's so beautiful, first of all. This color, it's high tech, and it's a great price. So first and foremost, it is very powerful. It dries my hair so fast. The wind blowing power of this is very strong if you want it to be, but there are different settings. I was able to dry my hair in 4 minutes today. So I set up my stopwatch and I was like, let's see how long it actually takes to dry my hair, and from start to finish, 4 minutes. There are 4 different temperature modes that you can go through by clicking this button right here. So the red is hot, orange is warm, blue is cold, purple is a hot and cold cycle, which is really cool, really high tech, which you press and hold for 2 seconds, and that minimizes damage and frizziness. So the sellout factor for me, and why I've used this hair dryer regularly over the years, are the magnetized attachments. The most important for me is there is a diffuser for my fellow wavy hair and curly headed girls. And if you have wavy or curly hair and you are not using a diffuser, you need to take a look at this with my hair without using a diffuser and my hair with a diffuser. It just makes the curls so much more defined, so much more frizz-free, and then of course it dries so much faster as well. You know, I can spend all the time in the world on a beautiful makeup look, but if my hair is frizzy and not done well, it just doesn't look as good. I don't feel my best, which is why it's so important to pay attention to hair care and choose good products. And that is why I reach for this hair dryer regularly. It's because of the easy attachments and the really nice diffuser. But there also, of course, is the option of a smoothing head as well. And literally, it just sticks on like a magnet, and it's pretty strong, so it's like not gonna fall off when you're doing your hair. So it makes it really easy for storage as well. The diffuser I had prior, you had to like push it on and make sure, and sometimes it would pop off. The magnetized head just makes it so much easier. This particular model I love because of the color options. You know I had to get the purple. It looks so much prettier in my room. And it's super lightweight. It doesn't make my arms tired. So if you want to check it out, I do have my link in the description box and my code that you can use at checkout. They're actually having a Valentine's Day offer for up to 25% off. So now is a good time to invest in a good quality hair dryer, or maybe Valentine's Day, something from your partner, you know, as a gift. But I've loved the previous model that I've had so much for the last couple of years, so I'm excited that I've now upgraded to this model with the purple and the different heat settings. In particular, the purple setting with the hot and cold cycling I think is super duper neat. It's super powerful, dries the hair fast, highly recommend it. You definitely need to invest in a good hair tool, and that one is worth it. So let's move on to some skincare. 2024, I invested a lot of time into testing K-beauty products, K-skincare in particular, and while there's so many different products in that whole realm of skincare that I loved, these are 2 that I have been loving so much. So this first one is from Beauty of Joseon. It is their Glow Deep Serum. Oh my gosh, first of all, I think it's very affordable for what it is. It's just this really nice thick serum, and why I like it is I feel like it really hydrates my skin, particularly this time of the year with it being winter. I have actually not struggled with too many dry patches this year. Normally, in previous years, my skin has gotten really raw and uncomfortable, and other than when I was in Spain where it's super dry, I didn't have any issues, and I really think that this serum has helped maintain that. It just feels so rich and thick on the skin, but doesn't break me out. I am somebody where if something is too thick or too moisturizing, there's a high probability that it will give me acne. So I just love the price point of this. I feel like it's luxury quality. There's something about it that's just really high end, and I see instant results. I'm an instant gratification person. That's why I'm more of a makeup lover than I am a skincare lover, but I get that instant gratification with this. Love this, and it leaves the skin super duper glowy. So definitely worth checking out. Again, with my dry skin, moisturizer is just so important. I fell in love with the Tier ceramic cream moisturizers as well in 2024 and continue planning to use them because in particular, moisturizers gives me the worst acne if my skin doesn't agree with it. And I like these because, first of all, there's a light one and then just the regular one. I use the light one in the morning because it's more lightweight, of course. And then I use the thicker one in the evening. And these have also played a key role in preventing that raw, uncomfortable, dry skin in the winter. And just the fact that it doesn't break me out, it feels really fresh on the skin, is why I have been loving these. So these are going to continue to be in my skincare routine in 2025. And the last skincare product, which I really don't think I've talked about too much on my channel, but this is something that I use every evening, every morning to hydrate my very dry, crackly lips. So this is from Ilia. It's the Lip Wrap Reviving Balm. It has a, I guess, like metal tip applicator. I don't know. It's really cold for some reason. So I feel like it wakes my lips up. I like that cold sensation, but it's super rich, super duper thick, so it stays on the lips for a long time, so I really feel like it hydrates my lips very well. It's not a product that I love using before doing my makeup because of how thick it is, but I'm telling you, before bed or in the morning when I'm just doing my skincare, I like to have this lathered over my lips, and it's really helped with the hydration. So I'm going to continue having this in my skincare bathroom and using this because it's just right there on my counter and I love it. Okay, let's go into the makeup, which of course did create this look today, and to no surprise, I just love how the makeup is looking and how it's sitting on the skin. So for base, a base product that I plan on using well into the year is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum. It smells delicious, it's very lightweight but extremely hydrating, and it leaves the prettiest non-glittery glow to the skin that's so beautiful. You don't even really need to put any foundation on top if you don't want to. It just gives skin a second life and a second light with how glowy and fresh it looks without being sweaty or skincare-y. They actually just launched a new shade as well that might be in a previous video. It's like a light pink. I don't think the shade that you have matters really, so long as you like the color. This one is more, this is Main Squeeze. It's like a little warmer. The Fresh Pressed, I believe is the name, is more cool. It's a lighter pink. No matter what, I just love the consistency of this. Now I do have dry skin, so I don't know how I would feel about this for oily skin, but on my dry skin, my skin literally drinks this up and asks for seconds. It loves it. Foundations. No surprises, okay? One thing about me, when it comes to foundation, I am loyal to foundations, so I'm gonna go over it quickly. First of all, of course, planning on using the Fenty Beauty Soft Lit Naturally Luminous Long Wear Foundation all throughout the year. It's like my ideal everyday liquid foundation. It's a natural finish. You can get lighter coverage, you can get medium coverage with this. It has this really soft velvety finish on the skin that almost applies itself. It was my favorite foundation in 2024 and will continue to be loved even as a makeup reviewer. Even as somebody who tries makeup, new makeup every single day, it's very difficult for me to keep a routine. Somehow, this is still in the routine. And then another one which I knew I loved when it launched, but then I loved it even more when it was the only foundation that I had brought with me over travel over the winter, and it is the Dior Skin Perfect foundation stick, and Dior does no wrong when it comes to foundations. A stick is just really versatile. You can take it anywhere with you. It's mess free. You just literally draw it on the face. Sometimes you need to spot conceal. You need to get a little bit of redness off the cheeks. You can blend a really light layer of this all over. This looks like a second skin. It is a second skin really in a stick. So just with the pure versatility of this is why I plan on using this often this year. Concealer, now I love a lot of concealers. I'm a small handful, like a small group I kind of rotate between. But a concealer that I just feel like my under eyes have been loving is the Haus Labs concealer. It's hydrating, but it's also thick, which one of the, I guess, concerns that I have is I do have a little bit of caving in on my under eyes as I am aging. It's bound to happen. 30's approaching soon, you guys, and I just feel like this fills in that under eye area and just brings a little bit more of youthfulness back, makes me look a little less tired, and the hydration aspect definitely does not hurt. And despite it being hydrating, I think it does a great job at not creasing. So there are a lot of concealers that well, not a lot, but like I said, a handful of concealers that I'll be rotating between. But I was just thinking, like, for my needs right now and for what I can appreciate right now, this is the concealer that I wanted to mention. Also, tools may be a little less exciting to talk about, but they are the most important and the most used items daily, even more than the makeup itself. So there's 2 complexion brushes that I don't know what I would do without. So first is my foundation brush. I always get asked, what foundation brush do you recommend? From IT Cosmetics, it is the Heavenly Luxe number 7 brush. It's dual-sided, which I know not a lot of people love, but I have a bin for my dual-sided brushes and I've learned to love them. But there's also a smaller side, which I don't use as often, but there's been occasions where I've needed it for small areas or for concealer correction, that kind of situation. I'm mostly just talking about the foundation brush size. It's just the perfect foundation brush. It doesn't leave any streaks behind. My brush doesn't soak up all of the product. For me, this is just what I use, what I love. And then concealer, BK Beauty A506, of course. It is that kitten paw style of brush, the perfect shape for getting underneath the eyes in the inner corner, and I love it especially for nose contour as well. It doesn't get better than these. I do not do my makeup without these 2 brushes at this point, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. As you know, lots of cream blushes and bronzers and highlighters launched in 2024, and even though I will stand by powders, and I will tell you, do not be afraid of powders even though I have dry skin, there's something about the way that a cream bronzer and blush in particular melt into the skin to the point where even I'm a really big cream blush and bronzer fan. So while there's a lot of powders that I like, it is these formulas that stood out to me that I'm planning on continuing using. So first I have the Dibs, what do they even call these? Just the Dibs duos. I don't know. One side is a bronzer, one side is a blush. And I'm talking about both sides, but in particular, I do find myself reaching for the bronzer side more. I just think these are so easy to work out and they have some of the best tones. I feel like no matter what color I apply, they're flattering on me, obviously within reason, of course, but super easy to work out, really natural finish, and the most gorgeous colors. So these got so much use for me in 2024. I'm planning on using these also into 2025 because while I do love the bronzer more, sometimes these also have a blush color that I really want, and they're just a great formula. Now, cream blushes. This is very easy. I mean, these are super popular, but they are for good reason. I'm obsessed with the Rhode Pocket Blushes. Not this not this chunky packaging, sorry. But the quality that is inside is unreal. And my 2 favorite shades, Freckle, like the perfect burnt kind of look, and then Piggy for the more baby pink kind of look. There's a place for both, and they blend out really easily. But what I love most about these is they're great on the lips as well. I'm pretty picky about a duo cream blush and lip formulation. Most, I would say, don't work great for both, but this is a formula that truly works out so beautifully as both. Because sometimes the cream blushes, they just don't stick to the lips as well, but this one does. And on the cheeks, I just feel like these apply so even. You're not going to get any patches with these, and even if you have powder underneath, these just work phenomenally. And then I am the biggest liquid highlighter hater in the world. I talk about it any chance I have. But there's one liquid highlighter that defies that law of mine, and it is the Dior Forever Glow Maximizers. And I have not been able to put these down. These have the prettiest glow. And I don't use them just as liquid highlighters. I will also use them as the most beautiful, youthful, flushy, glowy, glossy cheek blush as well, depending on what color you get. Rosy as a blush on my skin tone, to die for. Today though, I did just use the pink shade as my highlight, and you can see it doesn't disrupt anything underneath, and it gives the prettiest glazed glow. I can't describe why I love this so much. It's just the most superior quality, the most superior glow, and I don't know how Dior did it. How Dior literally made a liar out of me as a liquid highlighter hater. For some reason, I like these even better than powder highlights, which didn't think it was possible. So they did the impossible, if you ask me. Now, planning on using my favorite powder in the world, of course, Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder. Always get asked the most important powder in your collection. It's gotta be my baby Huda Beauty. I just think this is so finely milled, but it really presses into the skin and blurs away all of my imperfections. She's really leaning into this product being their star product. She's launching so many shades, which, listen up, if you are my skin tone, I don't recommend the Ube birthday cake. It's not very flattering. Go for cherry blossom cake. Which one am I wearing right now? Peach pie. Not my favorite, but 'twas available to me. I mean, I love this powder so much that I buy the colors that don't really look that good on me, which is ridiculous. But especially with Givenchy out of the game, this is the best, most reliable, most perfecting, most lightweight powder ever. So that's not stopping anytime soon. Annoying? I'm annoying. I'm being annoying mentioning these next probably 3 products. But this one I'm going to be the most annoying about. You know how I feel about Hourglass powders in general for the face. And I just think, don't buy them individually. Buy these 6 pans of all the formulations. It's the best value. While I'm in my cream product era, right, you still kind of need to set them sometimes. Hourglass is my go-to to set creams with because they're so buttery and silky on application. They just glaze over that cream instead of catching like a lot of powders can. So if you have a powder that's too pigmented and you set your creams with it, it will stick to the cream and then it will look powdery. Because of the baked formulation of this, it glides over the skin, especially if you use a nice big fluffy brush. There's not a formulation I don't like when it comes to this. The bronzer, gorgeous for setting your cream bronzer, or on its own, you don't need to set with creams. The blushes, same dealio. The highlights, amazing. And in particular, the finishing powders, creme de la creme, not another formulation that rivals Hourglass powders. So of course, I would be missing out if I didn't put this in this video. It is important that you know, okay? Sorry if you are a regular watcher of mine, like you've heard my rant on these forever, and I hope you're not sick of it. Okay, same thing, you'll probably be sick of, but this is the #1 brow gel, the only brow gel really that I'm using right now, the Rare Beauty brow gel. Gives volume to my eyebrows, gives thickness to my eyebrows, doesn't look dandruffy, and keeps my brows in place all day. I think there's nothing else that needs to be said. This is my favorite brow gel ever, and it has been for the last year plus that I've been using it. So that is the only brow gel I'm using, to be fair, so I need to mention it. And then I rediscovered this eyeshadow palette in 2024 and it's traveled with me. I keep it by my side. It might as well be by my bedside. But it just doesn't get better and more useful, more utilitarian than the Viseart Neutral Mattes palette. It is like as basic as it gets, yawn, but there's nothing more flattering than neutral tones, matte eyeshadow, nothing more versatile. You have eyeliners, eyelid shades, crease colors, eyeliners, brow powder if you want. Look, this Viseart is a pro-grade brand. There's a reason that pros use these palettes, and I'm sorry, for today's look, I got carried away and forgot to film, but I pretty much just have the matte browns all over the lid. That's it for just this really simple, smoky, neutral brown look. But these are the best quality mattes in the world. In el mundo. I meant what I said. And having them all in this little palette is the most handy dandy thing in the world. So while it's not the most visually pleasing palette in the world, it certainly is the most used palette in the world by me. So carrying that into 2025, no matter what other palettes launch, I'm gonna need to use this for certain reasons, even in those looks. The best eyeliner in the whole wide world. Now, I am anti-black eyeliner for the most part, except for specific looks. I have fully jumped onto the brown eyeliner wagon, and I found the best brown pencil liner to go with it, and that's the Lancome Lace Stylo Waterproof Long-Lasting Eyeliner in the shade Chocolate. So it's just a pencil liner. I like it because it comes with a smudger, and it will help really redirect and give a more natural line. The longest lasting but still easy to use eyeliner on the market. These are simply the best. They don't budge. It's one of those pencils where you put it on even your tight line and it won't transfer down, so long as you don't blink too fast, to the waterline, and it stays put all day. And then it still has a nice easy glide along the upper lash line. It doesn't catch on the skin too much. And even if it does a little bit, because sometimes that just happens with our anatomy, this smudger smooths it right out. So using this on the daily for my natural looks that I need a liner. 'Twas the most recent Sephora savings event that I finally purchased a Shiseido lash curler, and I am never going back. I mean, this might be personal due to my own anatomy here, due to my own eye shape, but I have not come across an eyelash curler that I can get to the base, to the root of my lash, as close as I can with this. I've never had stronger lash game than since I purchased this, and I haven't been using my lash serums, which I'm sad about, but I'm choosing not to use them right now. And you know what? It hasn't been terrible thanks to this lash curler giving my lashes the lift that they needed, that little pick-me-up. So there's just not a lash curler ever that I found that curl my lashes like this. And part of that reason is because they get so close to the root of the lash to really give the full visual effect of length. It's all an illusion as somebody with straight lashes, let me tell you. So the biggest tip I have for this is wait for your mascara to fully dry. And once it's dried, give it one last little kick here and you'll have visible lashes all day. Yeah, for me, it's pretty bare minimum. I just want my lashes to be seen. And then speaking of lashes, I discovered the Hailey's Beauty Reveal Lash Lengthening Mascara, and oh my gosh, you don't just have to be Asian, but in our genetics as Asian people, a lot of times our lashes are like this, straight and kind of downward pointing. I feel like this was formulated for lashes like this because the spoolie on this is so teeny tiny, so it's great for lower lashes, and you can really take your time and work on the length of the lashes. These two, Shiseido Lash Curler Hailey's Beauty Mascara, has saved me from my lack of use of eye serums. And then moving on to lips, I feel like I was not very adventurous with lips this year. I love the nude lip I have on right now. But anyways, 2 lip liners that are like my go-tos, just old reliable here. Pat McGrath Contour now. This one I've used for years. It's such a long wearing formulation. It's gel, so it applies creamy but dries down and doesn't budge. And contour you can put behind any lip color from red to nude, and it's gonna look good because it's like a contour color for your lips. And then a similar formulation, pretty much the exact same, but something with a little bit more pink to it. Love Trap from Charlotte Tilbury. So when I don't want something brown and I want something leaning more towards my natural lip shade that's still gonna like allow me to fake my lips and make them look a little bit bigger, I've been loving Love Trap. So it's got a cooler tone to it, a little bit more purple, so it looks more like a contour, but it looks closer to my lip color due to that pinkier purpley kind of tone. And again, really long wearing, sets down. So between these two, it covers a lot of ground with what products I can put on top. So plan on using these two. Like I say, these are like the regulars here. There is a color, a shade of lip that I really got into this year. And it's like kind of a bold pink color. Something that adds a lot of flush to the lips, a lot of blushy flushy, something that you can have almost nothing on and it will automatically make you look put together without being an obnoxious shade of pink. So I've been loving pink tones like this one, and this is the first color that I used that I was like, yes, this is what I want. And this is affordable too. I mean, I have a lot of other options that are similar to this color that I love, but this is the OG for me. This is what did it and made me fall in love with colors like this. This is the Essence 8-Hour Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Pink Blush. The perfect, bold but not like crazy kind of pink. You see what it does. You see how much life it brings to my face with minimal effort. And you can wear it with a heavier makeup look. You can wear it with almost nothing, just lashes, and you look so much more put together. It is a low maintenance lip color. And I find that depending on the formulas, right, as a color like this fades, it still leaves behind the prettiest, most flushed look to the lips. So anything kind of rose color for the lips I've been loving, but this is the best shade in my opinion. It's been my favorite. And then the best gloss formulation ever for how I like it is thick, filling in the lines of the lips, plump and juicy. And my favorite for that this year has been the Forget the Filler from Lawless, and they really expanded the shade range in this line. So typically I use Velvet. I demoed Juicy Watermelon for you, but I actually have on the shade Nude, which I don't talk about too much. But what I'm wearing as I'm speaking right now, I have Contour from Pat McGrath, and then I have this gorgeous nude shade. I love the shape of these. They're so great for the lips. And I just think it makes my lips look so much more juicy, so much more plump. It's hydrating, but it has a little bit of stick to it. Not sticky, but it has some stick to where it lasts on the lips. And you saw I did put a little bit of Rhode Piggy. Is this Piggy? No. This is. I put a little bit of Rhode Piggy on top just to demo it for you. So it's a little bit more pinky than normal, but I just love this formula and they have so many more shades. So it's my fave to give me a nice glossy lip. And then finally, I did want to pick a fragrance. One that I think is my go-to. It's been lately for the last few months. It's Sol de Janeiro 68. Now this is a mist. It doesn't have longevity, but I don't want something too potent for the daily. This, I just like quickly multiple times throughout the day. I don't mind. If I want a more intentional long-wearing fragrance, I pick from these guys over here. But just for just what I'm about. But you know, for quickies, just smell good, my signature fragrance has been this. I don't even know how to describe it. It is like Baccarat 540, but lighter, brighter, younger, fresher kind of thing. But that's kind of the family that I relate it to. So good, I have this giant one and a small one. And the whole line to go with this now because I love this fragrance so much. And 2024 was the year that I got into fragrance really. And you know, I have some nice stuff from some nice brands, but I just keep coming back to this for the daily, you know? And there we have it, you guys. Those are 25 beauty products that I plan on bringing very much into 2025 as well. I think with how fast-paced the beauty industry can be, you know, I find a product that I love and then I move on to the next thing. But these are products that I'm just not ready to move on from yet. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll have all of the products that I mentioned today linked in the description box. And again, a huge thank you to Rephr for sponsoring today's video. I will have the link to the SE High Speed Hair Dryer that I mentioned today in the description box, as well as my discount code. And don't forget, they are having their Valentine's Day offer that you can get up to 25% off. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Take a moment, think about what are some products that you are planning to be used and abused in 2025 that you're bringing in from 2024. I'd love to hear it in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.